yeah, I went ahead and started the video, and this is gonna be so much fun. All right, so they want everybody's interested. I guess it need point to the people by all means. Go right ahead. Okay, let's go get it officially get it going. This is the special edition of the Conversation Before the Conversation, the Black Panther Review Edition. It's just the panel. We're going to do this one first without an audience. We're going to go ahead and break this movie down and see what happens in this moment. I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I've been eating up, ready to go. Okay. First question. First thought.
We got a Black Panther over here doing other things. Black Panther son. It's all right.
Well, let me start off by saying let me do it like this. Still kind of do a round robin and just kind of let everybody tell what was the one thing that stuck out the most to you, or the thing that one significant thing that you think that you really enjoyed about the film. Ladies first.
The strength of the black woman. How significant their role was in Wakanda. How the leader of their army was a woman. How they look to their women for leadership and for guidance. That was significant to me, only because it shows that in a true relationship or a community, while the man should be the leader, behind him is always, there should be a strong woman that's holding him back, holding him up. So I think that James Brown was right. This is a man's world, but
Don't need
behind him, there's always a strong woman. So I thought that was significant for me.
Shay?
I thought it was, so it's like she's not talking.
Just see how long that was.
I thought that movie was, what I noticed that stuck out to me was that the movie seemed to have created a bridge between the conscious black radicals in America and just the conscious black people in America who are not radicals to the Africans, our African brothers. And so the movie worldwide, I'm hoping, what's sticking out to me is that there's a bridge that people start to really try to identify with who they are as African Americans, and where they stand as in their pride and their dignity for self, for family, and for the women, because there was a lot of powerful roles in there that the women had, and just everything to me made a bridge. I connected with my black woman. I connected with my black brothers in America. I connected with the Africans. I connected with even the villain. I connected when I understood his cause. Now, for myself, I wasn't down with his cause because he played a villain, but I understood his cause. And so, for me, that was the strongest thing that stuck out, because this thing made a bridge. It mirrored the fact that what happened to us historically happened to us as slaves, and where we are today in America, and where they were in a hidden society that was clearly more advanced than the rest of the world. So I thought that stuck out to me a lot, and that it was a hidden world, but it was a connection. They built a connection between the brothers here, to me. and even though it was a villain, you can still see the connection of the two minds connect. That's what stuck out to me.
Jay?
So good. Oh my gosh, the movie was so good. Oh man. For me, the main thing was balance. The movie was very, very, very balanced, even in every aspect you can think of it, from the men to the women, from the nature to the technology. It was like a perfect balance of nature and technology. It was a perfect balance of the old with the new. You see, some people had the lip disc. Some people had on more traditional clothing. Some people had on more of ancestral clothing. And everybody was cool. There was respect, there was integrity, even in the conversation. Just the way, like you said, like they built from the state to Africa. Even with I wouldn't even call him a villain because he ain't a villain to me. But even that he was there and born there, but he was still from there. You know, even though they didn't know it,
Right.
he was from there.
Right.
And I just saw a lot of balance in that difference between masculine and feminine. And I looked at the movie on a lot of different layers, but the main layer I always look at is point to myself. I always look at myself and see where can I find myself in this? What's the balance of myself, with my physical, with my spiritual, with my, you know, and that's what just stuck out to me. That movie just had a perfect balance, even with him and Killmonger, with T'Challa and Killmonger. Like, they were, if it wasn't for Killmonger,
T'Challa wouldn't be T'Challa.
yeah, Killmonger might have been looked at as a radical, which radical only got negative connotation because he's given that on purpose through propaganda.
Right.
But if it wasn't for him, they were almost resting on their laurels.
Right.
They were like, we're good over here, you know, they got it's crazy out there. And Killmonger was like, yo, it's people that look just like us that's suffering every day out here.
Right.
And y'all just over here
Wait,
sitting
you're
over
going too
here.
far, you're going too far.
But it was balance. Thank you. But I'm just saying where the balance is, if it wasn't for that, then that would have been the catalyst for the eventual.
What's next?
Cause I was ready for that one. I was like, I know that's coming.
Thank you. I was about to go.
I guess the thing that stuck out to me is the whole object of being able to change. All right, so we know over time there has to be a time that we all have to change for, and I'm gonna say, a greater good. Right? So them being able to being siloed into their world or what they was doing. Was the first thing was good because you take your home first, right? And there are always some things that come in that should play for you to start to change. You don't always get change internally, so there were external forces that came into play that caused them to make a change, and they were okay. So the conversation, happens all the time. It's happening right now in the world. It's a conversation, but if you don't take the step to make the actual change, put it in action, it means nothing. Right? So, I think the object that this happened, there was a change where, his mother went to the mountain man who they didn't relate to, right? But they had to go to him for help. It was a time of distress, but it was still, they had to go and commit and make that change. And even the mountain man made that change too at the end. It's like, okay, we all have to make this change for this good in order for us to thrive, not just in our own society, but also in the society of outside of Wakanda. So I think it was the ability for them to be able to change.
When you say that, it was also brought into, you're gonna have to come around for you. When his sister told him, cause he was like, when he was talking about, I would like to see how you're going to make this better. Remember when she told him, because she was telling him that she'd improved on something she'd already made.
Exactly.
And he was like, It's already working. Why are you? What are you trying to improve? I want to see how you're making it better. Exactly. He was already set and it's already good. Why are we trying to make it better? Same way when she improved on his suit. It's always it's ever evolving. It's ever evolving, and we want to stay in where we're at. And it's not. You're right. It's always a constant change, and we. Not just it's everything in life. It's just like in your job. When management changes, we so used to doing it one way. Then management comes in or some other company buys you out. You don't want to accept that. Hey, they're getting ready to change all the management and the way that things are done is going to change. The infrastructure is going to change. And if you don't move with it, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going either going out the door or you're going to never promote because you've got to move with that company. Just like when you walk in with those old school sandals, you're talking about, what are those in my lab? So, you're right, changes, that was
good.
Right?
I just think for me, I didn't go on a high consciousness level when I went in there. I was impressed from storyline to start that it started with a reference into where it started and worked its way forward, number one, because a lot of times when you go to a movie that is based from the African American community, a lot of times you don't have a beginning to put your feet on to start with and then fill it in as you go along. And that was something I appreciated. When you get into the storyline and everything that went on in it, I kind of was understanding through the satire and through it gave you tough parts, it gave you things that made you think, but it also gave you satire, it gave you comical parts that lightened the atmosphere, that lightened the mood, but at the same time, then it gave you the social consciousness along the way to say, like he was touching on, there are people outside of here that still need that help, and it touches on what we're talking about as far as you can't be stuck in a rut. There's always a way that you can reach back, put your hand down and help somebody up behind you. So that's kind of what I got out of it, and a lot of what it was saying that no matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through, there's always a way that you can.